everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. Well, several things of note, or not note, depending on what you might think. First of all, I think I'm starting to lose my voice for no reason. I'm feeling amazing, but who knows. But hopefully it will remain here for the rest of this recording. Two, I dropped my daughter off at college last week, my second daughter. I'm down to 5 kids now. And I want to thank Brian for covering for me while I was gone. But we're back. I got kids in college now. 3, I believe I turned 44 tomorrow. I don't know if that has some significance, that number, but it's kind of cool. And 4, we have a contest for you. This episode of Board Game Breakfast is sponsored, as always, by Pandasaurus Games. They want to talk about their the new version of the backstabby game, Tammany Hall. Such a mean but highly entertaining, fun game. Temporary alliances taking power at all costs. And we're giving out 3 copies of this game. All you have to do is you have to email us at contest@dicetower.com and put the word BACK, B-A-C-K, as your subject line, and then we're going to just pick 3 random winners. Now, this is available to anyone in North America, and so just there's your chance. You have 1 week to do it. This is coming out, the game is actually coming out September 16th, which is only a week away, so keep your eyes out for that. Well, lots going on. We are now in the last third of the year, so let's get started. All right, it's time for a not important at all top 10 list. So today, or top 5 list actually, here's 5 games I would highly recommend you not play right now. And these are, number 5, we have Nyctophobia. So this one here is a really cool game. Or at least the concept's really cool for sure, where there's one person who's hunting you down in the woods and you're trying to feel your way out. And so in this game, one person's the bad guy, everyone else is feeling around on the board, and that person will help guide their hands. So it really does give you that feeling of terror, and it's actually a game that you could play if you're blind because of that. However, the holding hands and moving people's hands around and such, probably not a good idea right now. Number 4. We have Witness. Witness is another cooperative game, which everybody has a page of a book, and you all have information on that page. There's I think 50 cases in this book. And you're going to whisper in each other's ears information, and then listen and whisper and pass it down, and then together solve a case, with that whispering being your only communication. Probably not a good idea to be whispering in people's ears right now. But it is a great game. Look forward to playing it again. Then we have Terror in Maple City. It was originally called Rampage. This is a game in which you have these giant monsters walking around and you're dropping them and stuff. And one of the things the monsters can do is they can blow on the board. You can blow and knock buildings over and blow on things and blow, blow, blow. Blowing seems like a bad idea right now. But fun game. Check it out. Number 2 is Happy Salmon. The North Star game where everyone runs around the table trading cards, switching spots with other people, and high-fiving each other, and then we eat happy salmon like this with everyone else. At the table, a big group, the more the merrier. Probably not a good idea right now. And the number 1 game is Speak Out, or one of the 100,000 different copies of this. I want to say there's at least 10 different name versions of this game I've seen, where you take that dental thing, stick it in your mouth, and you try to talk. And saliva's coming out and everything. Now, you should have one for each player with most of these games, and you should wash them and sterilize them between use. But even with the washing and sterilizing, I doubt anyone's going to want to play this game at this point. Unlike the other 4 games on this list, this is not one I recommend you playing when we're back to normal. I think this one should be burned. Anyway, those are 5 games I wouldn't recommend playing right now. What about you? Got any thoughts? Pick board games if possible. Obviously, we know we shouldn't be playing, hugging the game at this point in time.
I'm Starla, and we are Our Family Plays Games.
Yeah.
And today we're going to show you another one of our favorite family games.
But this one is newer.
This
real
is
new. Real new. You got to put that in there.
It's a new family favorite.
It's called Control by Pandasaurus Games, and it goes from 2 to 4, and it's a new one.
Now, Control It just reached our table maybe a few weeks ago.
Yes,
and
yes.
We played it a few times.
Yes.
And we like it.
We like it.
Yeah.
It's crazy looking. It's strange.
It is.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Now, in Control, you have a battlefield. And this center cube is your battlefield. And everybody has a different color.
Got these cubes.
I've got my green.
Kind of like Lego a little bit.
They kind of
Kind of, you know.
And then you place your cubes on the battlefield. Now you can go up, you can go across, you can go down, but you can never go diagonal, and you can never go away from the cube.
Can't
You
leave
gotta
the
stay
cube.
with the battlefield.
Yes.
Now every player has their own flag, and you use these flags to block your opponents so that they don't build where you are, because
right.
you want to protect your domain.
That's right. Now, the only little thing I got about the game, it's cool and all, but sometimes these flags don't stay sometimes.
Yeah,
They kind of fall off, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of fall. But other than that, great
It's a
family
great game, and you'll like it.
Yeah, kids will love this. It's like Legos. Yeah, they'll love this.
So if you haven't tried Control, give it a shot.
Yeah, do it. Hey, guys, have a great breakfast, and we'll see you again later. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Hi everybody,
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
from Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, well, today we're talking about Court of the Dead. This is Dark Harvest. Basically, in this game, the currency is souls, and you are trying to save as many souls as possible. But at the same time, you have to kind of pay this tribute to these celestials of souls. So you've got to, save and spend souls, and whoever can kind of find that balance the best is going to win the game.
Okay, speaking about balance, I like to run. Ryan and I like to talk about what we do to achieve better health in our life, and I am a runner. However, right now it's like 100 degrees outside, which totally sucks because I have to find that balance of how much energy I can really put forth, how long I can go before I would end up hurting myself from being out there in the heat for too long. So it's frustrating, but I want to continue to do it for years and years to come, so I have to find that balance right now.
All right, everybody, this production of this game is phenomenal. The card art is stunning. The box itself even has this cool, gloss effect. I don't know how you can tell that or not. It's got one of those nice game trays inserts that works really well, both for storage and for gameplay. I love the production of this game.
This game was really fun, and I enjoyed it so much so that I made me interested in this IP because I didn't know anything about it. I spent way too long on Sideshow's website just because I was so curious about everything after seeing the card art, and after playing this game I was like, what's going on here? What's this all about? And it just made me really curious.
This game has blind bidding. I love blind bidding. I've always liked that in games. It's kind of that mental chess that you play with everyone else. Like, how much are you going to bid? How much should I bid based off of that in order to hit this goal? But also I want to make sure I save some back because, again, that's the point of the game, is to try to save as much souls as possible.
Well, if you guys want to see more of us, you can find us on Facebook or YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Well, everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany. Hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
So, a few months ago or whatever, I talked about The Floor is Lava, a new party game or kind of a game show you watch, silly as all get out. So, a lot of the recommendations were, hey, go watch Holey Moley. I was like, okay, I don't know much about it, but I wasn't able to finally get a hold of it till the second season just came out. I've never seen the first season, but I've watched much of the second season of Holey Moley. So if you don't know what Holey Moley is, it's a game show of sorts, of reality show, whatever, where people are playing miniature golf, but it's miniature golf mixed with Wipeout, as in you might have to hit the ball down this weird miniature golf thing, and then you have to run across a bridge without falling in the water. It's nonsensical. It's a mixture of people who take miniature golfing extremely seriously. They are, of course, caricatures, and I'm sure they've been dialed up by the producers to be very caricature-ish on the show. But what makes this show for me is I think it has the best set of hosts that I've seen in a game, in any of these shows. A lot of these shows live and die by the host. I'm used to corny stuff from shows, but this, Rob Riggle brings some comedic work to this, along with an actual real-life sportscaster, and their play off each other has me in stitches all the time. There's also cartoons and nonsensical stuff in the background and side reporters and in-jokes and things that you learn as the season goes by. But the interplay between them is really the best part of the show. I also love miniature golf, and I would love to play on these courses. The courses look amazingly fun, even if they are built up so that there's also these obstacles and things too. It's too bad though that these courses couldn't exist as real courses. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We watched it again with the kids. There are sometimes the Riggle jokes are a little. He makes jokes that are probably not necessarily for kids, but they're usually above the kids' heads because he makes them with such a wry, out-of-the-way thing. So there's that. But overall, I like the comedicness of it, and it actually is a game as they're trying to win miniature golf. Lots of fun. Check it out. That's Holey Moley.
Hi folks, I'm Andy from Potable Gaming and welcome to my segment Change Your Venue, where I talk about different board game IPs I love as board games but think would also work well in different mediums. And today I want to talk about Blood Rage, the fantastic area control game by Eric Lang from Simon Games, in which you and your opponents play rival Viking clans battling for the glory in Valhalla and Ragnarok, trying to take over the world of Midgard before the end of days. This is a fantastic game. It's one I really enjoy. Me and my friends really love playing it. It has a great drafting mechanism. The Ragnarok mechanic works really well as well, so you can gain points from going into Valhalla, so you don't always lose, and it is just fantastic. Now, where would this go? It's already been translated into a video game, and let's be quite honest, there's quite a lot of Viking things around. But the idea of taking control of areas through ridiculous combat and there not being a massive penalty for losing makes me think there could be a really interesting place to take this, which would be somewhere in the world of paintball and outdoor sports games. So I've been paintballing, there's laser tag, all these things, the sort of a simulated combat in a wide open environment as a way to blow off stress and do some team building, get a bit of exercise, great fun. I've been paintballing quite a few times with things like stag do's and birthday parties, and I think that you could do that with Blood Rage. Turn it into a sort of LARP style event cross with paintball. So you and your friends all go down, you're all part of different teams, trying to be the last one standing. There'll be certain rules based on the weapons you use. You'd use soft weapons, maybe wear padded armour, and you just go to town on each other. You'd hit each other with these things, you'd battle through. There'd be less penalties for losing as well, because when you guys go to Valhalla, there's a good chance that come Ragnarok, you'll score some points. And at the end of the day, it's down to which team can make the best moves, maybe go through and infiltrate. It could just essentially be one or two giant fields put together with small gates between them that you've got to battle your way through, and it could be a lot of fun. Would you go to live action Blood Rage? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I've been Andy, and it's your round.
Hi, I'm Ambie, and last week I talked about culling games from my collection. But this time, I'm going to go over a specific way of getting rid of games, the math trade. Okay, so trading doesn't actually let you cull games from your collection, but it does let you cycle through your games so that you don't have just the same game sitting on your shelf unplayed forever. Instead, you have lots of different games sitting on your shelf unplayed. A math trade is a specific type of trade on Board Game Geek. Instead of just trading a one-to-one with one person, a lot of people participate in a math trade. I haven't done a math trade in a while, but I wanted to go over the general concept of one because it can be kind of confusing if you haven't done one before. So let's say I want to trade a game. I have Ticket to Ride and want to get rid of it, and I want to get Dominion. Then there's Toby, and he wants Ticket to Ride, but he's just willing to trade Codenames. Normally this trade wouldn't go through because I don't want Codenames, I want Dominion, and so this trade wouldn't work out. But let's say there's Crystal, who has Dominion and wants Codenames. So with the three of us together, we can make a trade loop. I can give Ticket to Ride to Toby, who gives Codenames to Crystal, who gives Dominion to me, and then we all end up happy with our trade. In a real math trade, there are a bunch more people and a bunch more games getting traded, so the trade loops are longer and more complicated, but it's the same basic idea. Everyone signs up for games that they're trading and games that they want to get, and a computer algorithm calculates it so that everyone can get the maximum number of trades. How to actually use the math trade tools is outside of the scope of this segment, but if you're interested in doing one, you can find some on Board Game Geek, and I'm sure people there can help you get started. So, good luck trading! Bye!
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? On the podcast side of things, we have Manny and Suzanne putting out a show tomorrow. And I want to jump right at the beginning and say, if you have not listened to many, many of the amazing podcasts on the Dice Tower Network, do so. Just go to dicetowernetwork.com and you can see all these new podcasts. There's lots of time you have. Listen to some of these great podcasts and hear all different views and different points on the world of board gaming. On the video channel itself, on Tuesday, tomorrow night, and various nights we're going to be doing No Strings Attached playing. Me and Roy are going to try out this Gatefall game and see what that thinks. Gigantic miniatures. They're like this big. I hope the game is good. So that's coming up. I'll be reviewing several games this week, including Nevada City, Cloud City, City. No, there's no. I'll be taking a look at the new Roll and Write pinball game from Jeff Enkelstein. Project Elite. Sandy Sketches, a game that comes with a bag of sand. The Search for Planet X and more. And all of us together will be reviewing Fort this week. We'll be taking a look at the new leader games. We'll also have our crowd surfing on Wednesday, board game breakfast on Thursday, and a new top 10 list coming out this Thursday. So you can find all this stuff. Go to dicetower.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hey guys, it's Deanna. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another educational game that you can play with your kids. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the game IATA. This is a game that I actually bought for my husband as a stocking stuffer, and as I was playing it I realized this reminds me a lot of another game that we have in our collection, and that is the game Quirkle. So today I thought I would talk a little bit about each of the games and kind of just talk about how they're similar, how they're different, and what I like about each of these games.
In IATA, you are playing cards to create lots or groups of 4. There are lots of options for creating these groups. They can be similar color, shape, face value, etc. Scoring can be a little confusing at first. It involves adding and also sometimes multiplying your points. The small size of the game makes it very portable, which is nice for taking on trips. In Quirkle, you are placing wooden tiles in sets of 6, either all of one color or all the same shape with no repeats. You earn points for the tiles you play as well as points for the lines that you add to. If you complete a group of 6, this is called a Quirkle, and you earn 12 points. I really like the chunky wooden tiles in this game and how they stand upright like dominoes. I feel like the scoring in Quirkle is easier than it is in IATA.
So that is Quirkle and IATA. I feel like between the two of these games, I personally prefer playing Quirkle over IATA. I feel like the rules are a little bit more straightforward with this game, and it's also a little bit less confusing for younger kids. But if you have older, maybe middle school, high school kids, then they might really enjoy playing IATA. So that's going to be it for today. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of Board Game Breakfast, and I'll see you next time with another educational game.
Hi everyone, it's Clara and I'm back today talking about escape rooms. Actually, I really enjoy puzzles, so even jigsaw puzzles, and these Ravensburger ones are really fun because they've got an additional puzzle on top. Just did a time lapse of this on my YouTube video actually. And then there's other more traditional puzzles. So this is sort of an escape roomy dungeon crawl type thing. You've got to escape the dungeon, but it's effectively a Sudoku. This is twist the little passages. It's really difficult, but really good fun. It is very much a traditional puzzle rather than a board game though. When it comes to the board game type things, I love the escape room. So there's only been one so far that I've not enjoyed. I've not played the last few, but every time I see that there's one of them coming out, I'm super excited, and as soon as I buy them, I've played them straight away because I can't wait to play them. The Unlock games, on the other hand, I've played 3 of them, and the puzzles didn't really work for me. I just didn't really get all that excited about playing them. I don't know what the difference is. Now, I will buy the Star Wars Unlock because it's Star Wars, but yeah, I'm just not excited about the Unlock games. This, the adventure games from Cosmo, which is the same publisher as Exit, I'm quite excited about playing this as well. I just picked it up, and yeah, I'm curious to see how this plays. It's more of a sort of RPG, choose your own adventure type thing, and I enjoy those sort of Exit games. Escape room games even. But I just saw Tom review Escape Room Curse of the Doll's House. That fascinates me. So firstly, he said it was hard. I don't always want an easy puzzle. I want a challenge. That's kind of fun for me. But then the other thing is you've got to build a dollhouse. Now, I make miniatures and I make dioramas, so I love the idea that you're building your escape room. How fun is that? How unique is that? And I just really excited to try it. So I don't know, I can't wait to get my hands on it, but I'm curious, what for you is a good escape room? What's a good puzzle? What do you enjoy? And yeah, let me know your favorites in the comments down below. Until next time, bye!
G'day, Captain Ameritrash here. I hope you're having a great breakfast. And first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who participated on the Dice Tower Facebook page poll this week, where we asked you which Ameritreasure we should feature on the video next. And you guys picked Scythe. And I'm stoked you did, not just because it's one of my favourite games of all time, yeah, but also because it's such a great representation of how far Ameritrash games have come. They're no longer these luck-driven, dice-throwing player versus player combat games anymore. You can have real tactics, really deep strategy that will even satisfy the most hardy of Eurogamer. So Scythe is just a great example of that. So let's take a look. Remember, this is my version of the game, so it's not going to come like this, but here's what it could be with a little love, and here's why you should play it. Scythe mixes Euro-style mechanisms like engine building, action selection, and resource management with Ameritrashy things like area control, variable player powers, exploration, and combat, which you can even take out with the Rise of Fenris expansion, which gives you a War and Peace track. A lot of great things too. I really highly recommend that expansion. So for a Euro player, there's really no excuse. So that's why I think you should check out Scythe and why I love it so much. Until next time, remember, one man's Ameritrash is another man's Ameritreasure. See you later.
It's just a game. I've said this many times in my life. There's one thing I've learned many years ago. Well, I've learned many. I learned I'm not good at basketball. But I didn't hate basketball. I do hate basketball pretty much now, playing it. And the reason for that is everyone expects me to be good at it because I'm so tall. And especially when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, because I weighed 130 pounds. And when you're 6'4" and weigh 130 pounds, you look like a stick, which makes you look really tall, which means you automatically like basketball, which I don't. But I digress. I play basketball, pick up basketball, fun basketball, and I found that when I played basketball with people, the nicest and most wonderful people turned into holy terrors on the basketball court because we were to win at all costs. And I was kind of out there like, hey, let's have fun, who cares? But they cared. Now that attitude of mine did not do very well at all on the basketball court. It can also be problematic in a game, right? I play a game, I'm like, I don't care if I win. Now, I think on one hand, that's really important. You should go into a game and not care if you lose. If I really did care if I lost, I would have a bad life because I don't win that many games. I win enough so that I don't feel like an idiot, I guess. And I try to win, but I'm having a good time. But is there a moment where you can go too far in that direction? We all know you can go too far in trying to win, where you can get caught up in analysis paralysis and you're focused on everything and you're doing everything you can to win. You will stab someone in the back. You'll do anything it takes to win at all costs. You may think that's a good idea, but I would highly argue that's a bad thing. But the other end is like, I don't care if I win. I'll do something stupid. And it's not that big of a deal if I don't win. The problem is if you lean far in that direction, you do a couple things. First of all, you rob your opponents of them winning. If they're like, hey, I won, and you're like, yeah, well, I wasn't trying anyway. You rob that joy from them. You're like, oh, maybe I would have beat you, but we'll never know since I didn't try. Secondly, you can ruin a game, especially in a multiplayer game, in a sense where you make the game actively unfun for one player because your stupidity, where you're just being silly and you don't care, will mess up the game for that player and or give the game to somebody else, unintentional king-making. And so if I go into these games and I'm like, I don't care, that can rub raw the person who really wants to win. And if I'm not taking the game seriously, then how can they? So I think you can take a game seriously, but still have fun and still not care if you lose. There is the middle ground, as there is with pretty much everything. There's middle ground. I know for myself, I tend to lean too much to who cares, and sometimes I have to realize that my who cares philosophy might kind of rub up against people who might lean a little bit more towards the, hey, let's try our hardest to win. I've definitely played games with people, and I was like, come on, you've got to take this game somewhat seriously. You are not helping things. And then I think, is that me sometimes? So how seriously to take a game? Where do you lie? What do you think? Who annoys you more? The people who must win at all costs, or the people who just say, man, it's just a game, and I don't try, I don't care, I don't have it. You know, obviously those are very strong extremes, but it's easy to lean one way or the other. That's what I think. Let's keep moving.
This is a segment where I take an IP-related game, I tell you if the mechanisms and the IP mesh well together and what the game should check out. Today we're looking at WWE Legends Royal Rumble Edition. So in this game, you are in the Royal Rumble, and you are a character from the WWF universe, and you'll be battling your way to be the last man standing. In the game, you will take a card from your hand. It may have a boost to it if you have another one, and you can play it down. You point it at a player, and that's the player you're going to attack for the round. And in order of speed on the card, you will turn over the cards at the same time, and you will do your moves. And you try and do enough damage to them. Each character has a different amount of damage, and that will throw, if you get max damage, it will throw them over the top rope. Last man standing is the winner. This gives me the feel, not so much of a wrestling match, but it does give me the feel of a Royal Rumble, and that's what it's going for. In the Royal Rumble, it's kind of like a battle royal, where every 2 minutes a new wrestler would come down to the ring, and if you throw it over the top rope, you are eliminated. So you might have 10, 15 guys in the ring, or you might have 2 in the ring at a time, or maybe even 1. And that's kind of the fun of the Royal Rumble, is all these different combinations of fighters that you're going to have. And you really feel that in there. You're throwing people over the top rope, and it doesn't matter how good you are, although the book does say whoever throws the most people over has bragging rights. What you're really looking to do is be the last man there. So you can be the worst player and just get lucky at the end, I suppose. That's it. But the mechanisms and the IP work fairly well together for a card game. I'm a little bit impressed with how much it felt like the Royal Rumble. And it's one, if you're looking for a light filler card game and you don't mind that direct combat in it, this game will be exactly for you. You will know if you're a fan or not of it by just looking at the box.
A game that's crunchy, of course that's a metaphor, is a game that might have a lot to chew on. A game that's crunchy might have a lot of numbers in it that you're crunching. Okay, let's do this for real. So a game that is crunchy is a game that's going to have a lot of thought to it. A game that's going to have a lot of kind of calculation, a lot of meaningful thought that has to go into the decisions that you're doing. When I think of crunchy, I often think of Power Grid. In Power Grid, you are putting pieces out on the board in order to power the most cities, right? But it has a really tight economy, and you're spending a lot of money, and the game really comes down to individual dollars throughout the game. And so it can be really crunchy trying to figure out how I can get the most bang for my buck on this specific turn. I only have $70 this turn. What am I going to do in order to stretch that $70 to build the most power plants or power the most cities? And as you're trying to figure that out, there's kind of numbers swirling around your head, and you're trying to piece them all together. That's crunchiness in a game. That's it.
And that's it for another episode. Thanks so much for watching. We got lots of live shows coming out this week, so keep an eye out for those. Don't forget, we did a contest at the very beginning of this episode, so check that out. I'm excited. More stuff to come. Last third of the year, 2020, bring it on. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.